Today, on the Guitar Reliquary, the sky has changed color. I am very excited to bring you the Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky SE Maple with the beautiful nylon blue finish. So, yesterday I was out and about and visited a local music store, and they have recently become a Paul Reed Smith dealer, and they had a gray maple Silver Sky SE. I had originally gone in thinking I might pick up the BB King Epiphone that they had, but ultimately decided to go with this. So the Silver Sky, if you don't know, is the John Mayer signature model, and it may or may not be as good as a Fender Player Series guitar. I will be shooting this out with my Player Series in Fiesta Red in a future video. So about 4 years ago or so, I was fortunate enough to play a Silver Sky SE with the rosewood fretboard at a music store that had them in stock. And it was in the sort of olive drab green color that they have. I'll look up what the color's called and put it on the screen here, but I really liked it. I was really impressed with it. And they had both the American made and the SE side by side. And I really didn't notice that much of a difference in the quality, which was very surprising since the Silver Skies SEs are made in Indonesia, and a lot of guitars are made in Indonesia, but they don't have the greatest quality control record out there. I guess maybe the PRS quality control at the Maryland factory when they get these into the country is better than some other manufacturers. But I played them both, and I actually liked the SE better. I played them both for a while through a Roland Jazz chorus, and just got really beautiful tones out of the SE Silver Sky. So I'd always had it kind of in the back of my mind, but the color I didn't like, so I decided that I would wait until a color came out that I did like. And I enjoyed the dragon fruit, but the birds in the SE models sometimes are hit or miss for me. They were that sort of white acrylic or whatever material that they use. They don't look very dynamic to me. So when I saw this year that they came out with the maple ones, I was very excited because they have the silver birds, and I think the silver birds just look phenomenal on the maple. It's quite a difference to see silver inlays as opposed to just the standard black dots or blackbirds that they would have on other guitars. So anyways, when I saw they had the gray one yesterday, I picked it up and I played it a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. I really like this. But the color was not for me. I'm not like an Inca Silver Fender person. And so I asked them, do you have any other colors? And I was thinking I would get the purple. They didn't have the purple. So they said nylon blue. And I was like, nylon blue? What came to mind was sort of like a Daphne blue. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to like that. But I asked them to open the box anyways. And lo and behold, it had this beautiful color that's really similar to, in my opinion, the Lucerne Aqua Fire Mist that they put on the Eric Johnson models. So I was very stoked about the color, and I played it right out of the box. Nobody else had played it, and I was very impressed with the quality of the fretwork and also the overall setup. So I bought it because I was very excited to have a Silver Sky SE to review on the channel and also to play, since I've been in a bit of a single coil mood lately. So let's go over the features of this guitar, and then I'll get you into the tones. I really liked the sound of this guitar. I really enjoyed making the track for this one. It was very easy. Some tracks take a while to come together. For example, the Alex Lifeson Shootout track was probably a 6-hour ordeal for me, just trying to come up with some rhythm and then trying to come up with some lead that was more memorable perhaps than just shredding over it. And with this one, it came together very quickly. So, features of the guitar. This is a poplar body, and I don't see any visible seams. Not to say that it's not a multi-piece body, but that the finish work is very good because I don't see the seams in it. I'm not averse to poplar. The Squier Mini Strat that I just did on the channel was poplar, and the Steve Morse models are poplar. So poplar is an okay wood for me. This poplar body is joined to a maple neck with a maple fretboard, and it's a very sort of thick carved maple neck, very comfortable. I don't think it's off-puttingly thick, but for me it fills the hand nicely. Supposedly it's based on John's favorite early 1960s Stratocaster neck. I'm not a huge John Mayer fan, so I don't know that much, though I do really enjoy his playing with the Grateful Dead, or Dead and Company, or whatever they're calling themselves now. So, poplar body, maple neck. It's a Fender scale length, so 25.5 inches, but it's a little bit different than a Fender in some subtle ways. So they have a redesigned output jack that kind of protrudes outward a little bit. I really enjoy that output jack. I think it looks phenomenal. It's a nice riff on a fairly common design. It's got the 2-point tremolo bridge with the bent steel saddles, and the bent steel saddles come with the appropriate height screws, which is not always the case with some of the Fenders. So it's very comfortable on the picking hand. The trem bar just snaps in. There's a little set screw on the back of the bridge that you can use to adjust the tension that holds the tremolo arm. And then the bridge itself is set flush on the body. So it came actually with the front edge of the bridge quite a bit higher than the back edge. I decided that cosmetically I didn't like the way that looked, so I lowered the front set screws and just sat the bridge as close to flush on the body as I could, and then raised the saddles back to the action that it was at when I pulled it out of the box. Has 3 single coil pickups, the 635 JMS pickups or something like that. They're the S series version of the pickups that are in the American-made Silver Sky. Generally what that means to me is S series is either made in China, Korea, or Indonesia, depending on whose PRS has a deal with. My assumption is that these are now in Indonesia, but I could be wrong about that. Has a volume and then 2 tones like a Stratocaster layout, 5-position switch. Position 5 is the neck, position 4 is the neck and middle, position 3 is the middle, position 2 is the middle and bridge, position 1 is the bridge only. As far as the neck, it has what I would categorize as medium jumbo frets. They're taller than a medium jumbo on a Gibson, but perhaps not as tall as a medium jumbo on a Fender. And they are very nicely rounded at the edge so that there's a comfortable playing feel. The fretboard radius is very odd. It's an 8.5 inch fretboard radius. So it falls sort of directly in between the 7.25 inch of vintage Fenders and the 9.5 inch of modern Fenders. I find that it's a beautiful compromise, and that having the action slightly higher to accommodate bends without fretting out is just extremely comfortable. And I'm usually, it's got to be as low as possible action kind of guy. So really comfortable fretboard radius for chording and for playing lead. As far as the nut, I don't know what the nut material is, but PRS does have its own composite that it uses for their nuts. My assumption is that this is some sort of PRS composite nut. I will investigate and put something on the screen to confirm or deny that. I don't believe it's bone. It has none of the luster of bone, and it has none of the lubrication. I'm not sure what the word is for that, of bone. But the strings bind very minimally and could be actually adjusted, could actually be taken care of with some nut sauce or some Diodario string friction reducer. Has non-locking, what they call vintage style tuners, so it has that sort of Fender square appearance from the old Fenders. Obviously 3 and 3, but with relatively straight string pull because of the PRS headstock design. The little plastic gray tuning buttons are comfortable. They're not really anything to write home about. They're a cosmetic thing more than a make or break thing for me. They are very light, the buttons, so that can be good for reducing neck dive, and this guitar actually balances very well without a strap, so very happy about that. The headstock shape, you either love it or hate it, but yeah, it's grown on me over time. As far as the neck, it looks to be a two-piece neck because it has a scarf joint on the back where the headstock meets the rest of the neck, and that's good because you don't want broken headstocks, and scarf joints can be stronger than regular joints or single pieces. As far as the rest of the features, it's fairly comfortable neck heel with the John Mayer sort of neck plate on it here. I could do without that. If it were me, I might look for an aftermarket neck plate, but I might just keep it because it's black and it says Silver Sky and SE on it, and just live with the John Mayer signature. 1-ply plastic back plate, and then a 3-ply plastic scratch plate. The plastic is of a very high luster, which I'm not a huge fan of, so I'm looking forward to actually taking that down through playing over time. It's almost cheesy looking to me compared to like a Fender pickguard. So I don't know what they're using for a finish on this or what material they're using, but it's definitely not my favorite sort of white material. Comes with a gig bag, a Silver Sky SE gig bag that is also silver. Comes with the trem arm and then the warranty card and the truss adjustment tool. Speaking of the truss rod cover, that is a plastic silver cover. I might look for a matching to the color of this truss rod cover because you can often find aftermarket truss rod covers. So overall, I would definitely stack this up against a Fender Player Series guitar. I think it does punch above its weight, so to speak, in that the neck is just incredibly comfortable. The fretwork is very good, and the pickups are beautiful to me. I think they have a really neat sound, and it gets really dirty in position 4, which tells me that they must be fairly hot pickups. I don't know what the output is in resistance, but they seem kind of hot. And when you hear the demo, I think you'll hear that where it starts to break up on position 4, even though I'm using a cranked Fender amp clean setting. So yeah, very excited to have this guitar. I think it'll remain in the collection for some time. It looks right at home with my Seafoam green Strat and my Fiesta red Strat, and no qualms about picking up another one. If I decide I want to mod this one, I might pick up another one to keep stock. Yeah. So I hope that you will enjoy the demo, and let me know in the comments what you think of the guitar and the tones that I'm getting out of it. Thank you very much for watching today. Please check out my other videos, like and subscribe, and have a phenomenal week.